You certainly do not live up to your reputation, ghost of Sparta.
Perseus is probably the first great hero.
In the classic myth, Perseus is actually the son of Zeus by this mortal mother, Danae. Because Zeus, again, is not only a player, but he can transform, he can shapeshift, he can change his shape. So he turns himself into a golden shower, or maybe I should say a shower of gold. And it's the same old scenario. He's there with Danae, bada boom, bada bang.
One of the things that heroes always have to do is they have to go on a quest. With the help of the gods, he manages to kill Medusa and cut her head off without being turned into stone.
Just your all-round kind of heroic Greek classic figure, the kind they built statues to. Yeah.
No! That door was my only escape!
It was absolutely a conscious decision to make all of the mortal characters sort of blockers in Kratos' way, but blockers that have a bit more personality. So when you fight him, he's on the island, he's trying to change his fate, and then he runs into Kratos and goes, oh.
I think what's neat is seeing Kratos against these more noble heroes. Because if you even know a little bit about Greek mythology, it's neat to encounter these guys. You know, it's not only is it neat to encounter them, it's neat to kill them.
The ghost of Sparta. Theseus.
Theseus is the archetypal hero of the city of Athens. He is a son of Poseidon. His most famous exploit in modern times is when he went and defeated the Minotaur.
Mythologically speaking, Theseus is a guy who just, had a string. He went into the Minotaur's labyrinth and he figured out a trick so he could find his way out.
So he goes in there, slays the Minotaur, saves the Athenians from this horrible burden.
Like, hey, you're the best, But it really wasn't like, wow, he did tons of great deeds. It was really that one big thing, that defining moment for him. So I kind of thought it would be interesting to have that he's still this brute, tough warrior, but he's also kind of past his prime.
I serve and protect the Sisters of Fate for the glory of Zeus.
And it sort of reflected in the style of fight as well, that he's a big talker, but really he just was a guy who had a piece of string.
Do you not know who I am? Have you not heard of Icarus?
Icarus is definitely my favorite character. It's the whole lunatic, kind of crazy, old doctor.
You will never make it across. You think you can, but you cannot.
It's really dirty, eccentric old man. That's something that I can really relate with.
I will reach the Sisters of Fate, and I will use your wings to do so.
So Daedalus and his son are imprisoned on the island of Crete, and they realize that there's no way to leave except by the air. And he builds wings for himself and for his son by taking feathers and wax and basically building himself some wings.
And he warned his son Icarus not to fly too near the sun because the wax could melt. But Icarus didn't heed his father's sage counsel. He kept going up and up until he got so close to the sun, the wax of his wings started to melt.
The wings were made out of wax and they melted and deteriorated just like we wanted them to in the game. So it was kind of a no-brainer. It fell into the story perfectly, and gameplay-wise, design-wise, they're excellent.
The thing that separates heroes from human beings is that they're human, but that they can do superhuman things. They have more fortitude, they have more courage.
They have good hearts. They are heroic. Kratos is not heroic. Kratos is driven by rage and anger and resentment. You can be as noble as you want in the God of War universe, but ultimately the animal is going to kill you, and the animal is Kratos.
Hear me, fallen god. None defy what the Fates decree. That is how it must be.
The Fates were these three old crones in Greek mythology.
They're usually viewed as three old women, three nasty old women. Clotho spins the web of your life.
You will never control your threat, Kratos.
Lachesis measures it.
We've been expecting you.
Atropos, the worst of the three, cuts it.
We control your destiny, foolish mortal!
When she snipped your thread of life, that was it. Boom. Straight off to the underworld.
The name of the last one, the cutter, Atropos, actually means the unwavering one, the unbendable one, the one that is implacable.
You will be the one who dies this day.
No matter how nice you are to her, it doesn't matter. You cannot change your fate.
There's a lot of wailing against your fate and crying out to the gods, but your fate is your fate. You know? You do with it what you can.
Everyone's life is a thread woven and cut by the sisters whenever they deem. So they are more powerful than the gods, more powerful than the Titans, more powerful than anybody in the mythological world.
Not even a Titan know how to reach the sisters' temple.
They're the puppet masters. I mean, they are controlling the threads of every person's life.
A very small number of characters are blessed with a gift of choice. The most famous example is the hero Achilles. Achilles finds out that he basically has a choice. He can stay and fight for Troy, and if he does so, he'll gain incredible honor and glory, but he'll die and have a very short life. The alternate is that he could go home and have a very long life and live as a complete nobody. Needless to say, we're still talking about him, so he chose the former.
Kratos' whole story is all about fate.
Now there is no hope.
He started the game showing you him killing himself, and then before he actually dies, we take you back to what led him up to that point.
There's an issue going on in the franchise and in the series about how much control will man have over his own destiny.
You no longer control my destiny.
You do not defy fate, Kratos!
Everybody's life is supposed to be mapped out. He's going to be the one person to basically not be mapped out by somebody. He's not going to let anybody, a god, a titan, or even the Sisters of Fate, control his destiny.
It's kind of like the video game version of the "Fuck You Teenage Rebel" song. It's like, you know, I'm going to do my own shit.
Kratos, behold the island of creation, home to the Sisters of Fate.
The Island of the Fates is supposed to take place on the edge of the world, and any hero that has made it this distance is definitely a worthy one.
You seek the sisters to kill Zeus.
Everybody on the island is not only there to seek out the Sisters of Fate to change their fate, but they're all kind of reminders of the horrible things that Kratos has done in his past. Every time he turns the corner, somebody's there reminding him of what he's done.
Your soul will never find peace for what you have become.
I am what the gods have made me.
This is a guy who has his whole life really been kind of a pawn of the gods and really kind of screwed over by them. And I think now what they didn't realize they did was put him in the exact position that he needed to be to really kind of create all kinds of havoc.
Now that he is a god, he's a little bit more angry than he was in the first game, ironically. He absolutely has given up on everybody and he just wants everybody dead. He's a bastard.